5th District U.S. Congressional candidate Leslie Cockburn made a campaign stop at the Commonwealth Senior Living Center in Charlottesville. Cockburn has visited the center before, but this time she was flanked by United States Senator Tim Kaine. The pair tackled a wide array of topics, from the migrant caravan heading towards the southern U.S. border with Mexico to gun violence and health insurance.
The Republicans are determined to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. What that will do is that guarantee, that promise, that you can have health insurance even if you have a pre-existing condition. We all remember, everyone in this room remembers when you could be denied health insurance if you had diabetes, if you'd had cancer, if you'd had a whole number of things. So we do not want to go back to that place. We want to protect people with pre-existing conditions, and I will do, again, everything I can do in the House of Representatives to make sure that that happens.
Cockburn is a fierce advocate for the preservation of Medicare and Social Security and has been bringing up the issue at campaign stops in the 5th District.
There are a lot of myths about Social Security. There are a lot of myths like, oh, it's completely unstable, there isn't enough money, etc. This is not true. In fact, the Social Security Trust Fund, things got better under the Obama administration, and right now it's solvent through 2034. If we lift the cap for people who are already making $130,000 and more, it'll be solvent till the end of the century. So things are very stable in Social Security and in Medicare, where the cap was already lifted a long time ago. So we need to preserve them. And I have pledged, I've been endorsed by the National Committee, I have pledged to preserve that. I will do anything to preserve Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid. And there's such a misunderstanding about Medicaid too, because people think, oh, Medicaid is for poor people. How many people, when they end up in a nursing home, run out of money and need a Medicaid bed? It's a lot of people.
Cockburn is also opposed to the 2 pipelines that are being built that will affect the land and residents in her district. She is opposed to them, not only for obvious environmental reasons, but also because one of them, the Atlantic Coast Pipeline, will destroy and contaminate a historically black freedmen's town in her district.
One of the reasons why I'm very opposed to the Atlantic Coast Pipeline is right now it's planned that there should be a giant compressor station in the middle of Union Hill, which is an African-American and historic African-American freedmen community. So this compressor station should never have been placed there, and the fact that it's moving forward is very disturbing because you have a lot of toxic chemicals which will be spewed in the air. You have methane that will be vented. Methane is so powerful, it's 25 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. And the leakage of methane from these 2 pipelines will be the equivalent of 46 coal-fired plants. So if you care about climate change, that's a big thing. But Union Hill is in danger. It will rip apart that community if that giant compressor station goes in. And by the way, it sounds like a diesel locomotive 7 days a week if you have one next to you.
Cockburn is an award-winning journalist and filmmaker whose reports and segments have appeared on 60 Minutes, Frontline, PBS, NBC, and CBS. Her opponent is Republican businessman Denver Riggleman. The 5th District Congressional seat is currently held by disgraced Republican Congressman Tom Garrett. Garrett is a member of the ultra-right Freedom Caucus. In May of this year, Garrett announced that he would not seek re-election this fall, leaving Republicans scrambling to find a new nominee. Garrett's reasoning for not seeking re-election was that he is an alcoholic, but many believe there were other reasons as well. First off, Garrett was photographed with white nationalist Jason Kessler. Kessler would go on to organize the violent and deadly Unite the Right rally that took place in Charlottesville on August 12, 2017. While Garrett attempted to distance himself from Kessler after that event, his ties to white nationalism remained fresh on the minds of donors. As of April of 2018, a month before Garrett announced that he wouldn't seek re-election, he had been outraised by several of the Democrats that were seeking the Democratic nomination. Denver Riggleman has vowed to join the hard right-leaning Freedom Caucus if he is elected to Congress. I wanted to talk to Riggleman about that decision and many other topics and issues affecting the people in the 5th District, but so far, neither Riggleman or his campaign have responded to my request. Leslie Cockburn, on the other hand, despite not knowing what I may or may not ask her, has never denied my request for comment or an interview. Transparency and accessibility are 2 things that every American should want from their elected officials.
We have a great campaign. We have a great coordinated campaign, and we are right now neck and neck with my opponent. In fact, a little bit above, according to the New York Times.
In Charlottesville, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.